Thank you, Meruyert, for coming tonight. I'm very glad to see you here.
My pleasure.
It was a great pleasure for me to become a silent guest of your poetry book presentation. And I was curious, how could this very modern-looking lady like you write a poem in such classic style art? When did you start and why?
Well, I'm glad you've been in the presentation. Actually, I've noticed you, and I've noticed your eyes. You were a very curious person, which is a pleasure. And I'm very pleased that you're interested in the poetry as well. Well, basically, as for the poetry, I've been writing it since I was 12 years old, when I was a child.
How did you start that?
I don't know, I don't remember. When you were a child, you just I was hiding it from my parents.
Yeah.
And it was something from my soul. And being a child, you don't even intellectualize what you're doing. You just go and do something and hide it or show it. So in my case, I was writing the poetry in a little kind of a copybook thing and putting it in the shelf. And suddenly, not every other day, I was writing little poems, and then until today.
You said you were hiding from your parents, right?
I did.
For what? What was the reason to do that?
Well, I guess many children have something to hide from the parents.
So it was your a small secret?
Yeah, it was actually my secret. I don't know why I was hiding, but it's a very nice question.
I thought, why you prefer private closet presentation? Why don't you want to publicize widely and sell the books?
Well, actually, the book was not my idea. To publish the book was not my real idea, because for many, many years, my friends, they were persuading me that I have to write books, that I have to publish my poetry, or even write a roman about my life. And I was always thinking why, what for? It's not commercial. I was in business and politics. And I thought it's not rational. Then last year, one of my friends, she published a book, and she invited me to the presentation. And then I asked her, is it difficult to publish a book? How long it is? She's like, it is easy. And then I suddenly ordered and published the book in Moscow. This time I made a little presentation in Paris, where you've been, but it was just my private friends, as you've seen, just a few people. And the whole thing is about this book is another big different goal.
Why did you present that in Paris and in Moscow? Why did you not do that in your home country?
So as for Moscow, I don't know yet. I have to talk next week with a couple of people how to launch it, or will I be able to. But as for my motherland, I'll definitely do, if I'll find the interest in the poetry over there as well.
And actually, I noticed another unusual thing in your book. You have your own paintings and sketches as an illustration. Did you really do it yourself?
Of course I did. But it's another little story. I've been painting on oil and canvas, and I had a couple of few paintings. And I told my publisher, can we just put it in the book as well? So he calls me in a few days and he says, my dear, can I talk to you? He's a nice person, very nice person. And he said, as long as you're painting and you're writing poetry, may I ask you to do sketches yourself as an illustrator to your book? I was laughing tearful. I said, do you really? Are you serious? And he said, but it's so authentic, because you're an author, you're writing your poems, and if you draw, whatever it is, it's from your hands, and it's very unique. And then when we were talking over discussion, I said, how many illustrations I have to do? He said, maybe 100. I said, no way.
100?
100, sketches, myself, first time in my life. He said, maybe 70. I said, okay. How many days I have? He said, a couple of weeks, 2 to 3. Take 2 to 3 weeks, but please draw it whenever you feel good. Don't push yourself.
So it's mostly in Russian, right? Your
Yeah.
book's mostly in Russian, but you also write in English, which I found very rare and unusual too. How long you have been writing in English?
Actually, in English, I started to write, I guess, maybe 2022 was my little short poetry in English. And I don't have much in English. It's just like 1/4 in the book.
Is it difficult for you as a non-native English speaker?
I don't find it difficult. I'm not a professional poetess in English, but whatever my soul speaks, my soul can express itself in Russian, and it can express itself a little bit in English as well.
So, what's your plan? How you're willing to distribute the book, or what target or audience you would like to reach?
Well, basically, the book was not published for selling or for any commercial reason. As well as I'm a romantic, poetic person, I'm also a very grounded person. I have a practical understanding of life. At the moment, I have a very big project. Hopefully it will have a global effect, positive effect. So the name of the project is Love and Peace Planet. So basically the book is published to attract attention of the potential investors, of my friends, to the idea of love and peace in my project, and invest in the development of this idea. And basically the project is international, and this is probably one of the reasons that I have already published the book.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
About that Love and Peace Planet project, right?
Yeah.
Where is that?
Well, let me briefly explain you. So basically, I lived in the United States. I lived and studied in Europe. I lived in Russia. I have a kind of more cosmopolitan lifestyle, and I've been working in different fields like politics, business, acting. When you see these different types of people in different countries, you see as much as similarities as well as differences. The brief overlook on the whole planet, what's going on at the moment, we have kind of very alarming situation in the diplomacy. Lots of diplomatic rifts happening between the countries, and misunderstanding between people, and lots of division between nations, and lots of anger, aggression. I'm getting worried about this. Basically, I was thinking to myself, what are the basic values that unite all people on the planet? Because when you sit with Americans, they're very normal human beings, having a simple, same lifestyle like Russians do, same as well as like European people do. So basically, you and me, we're as different, we're similar in many, many things. We're just human beings. And I was thinking to myself, what are the two basic qualities that will unite all the people around the world? And of course, I came to very, very simple, basic values that are love and peace. When we talk about love today is more like love between man and woman, something romantic or something sexual or something whatever. But when I talk about love in the Love and Peace project, I consider love like the whole term of love, starting from loving yourself, loving the person around you, loving your family, loving your hobby. Just love is such a huge term, it's such a huge word that covers everything. So basically, a second term is peace. When we talk about peace, it's more in general terms that we're thinking about the war and peace. But in my project, there's a value. The peace is, first of all, you have to have peace with yourself. When you have peace with yourself, you would like to have peace with someone sitting around you. You have to have a peace with your family. You have to have a peace of mind, right? To change the planet or to change something bigger, you have to start from loving yourself, having peace with yourself. And then when we start talking, waking up the whole idea of love and peace in every single person on the planet Earth, we will start accumulating the whole positive power of reconnecting back to ourselves as a humanity.
Who created that project?
Me, I'm a founder.
Wait, really?
Yes, I am.
I didn't know about that. I thought you have to join that project.
No,
No?
I'm the founder. I didn't tell you. That's my idea, the whole project.
I thought someone else created that.
No.
I didn't know about you. I thought you just joined them.
No.
No?
It's my idea, which I have created like half a year ago, I guess. And right now, my lawyers that took copyright in the United States and Russia, and right now they're working in Kazakhstan as well. So basically, I'm a founder, and I have created this idea. And right now, we just have to move on, bring in more people.
I can't believe that the lady like you doing so many stuff like poeting and painting and create some stuffs other than just painting and poems. It's very good.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it.
Wow, it sounds interesting, pretty challenging. I love that idea and initiative. Can I participate? And how can I buy your book?
Well, of course, I'm glad that you like the idea of Love and Peace project, and you're welcome to participate in any way you can, because it's actually it's for volunteering, for investors. So we call scientists, we call politicians, and I'm talking right now with some people as well. I have a website, and the book is not on sale, but if you would like to have the book, there is, I have created a foundation, which is Love and Peace Foundation, and you can donate in this foundation, and then we'll send you the book. This is how it is, as simple as it is. So basically, it's all connected. My book together with the project and the whole idea of unity and love and peace. Because basically, the poetry is very beautiful art, and it's language of the soul, which is connected to love and peace inside of you, right?
Right. And I have that book right here in my hands. And
You took one? Oh, that's
yeah,
smart.
I took one.
That's smart.
And I have seen so many beautiful pictures by you, the paintings. It's really nice. And
You did like it?
I think the people who's gonna read that and who's gonna look at that book just a time maybe, it's gonna be very, very interesting for them, because it's gonna inspire them with that poetry and with that paintings. I see that you gave your soul for that
You
book.
feel it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
glad
can
to
see
hear
that. And those paintings are amazing. And since I have that book right here in my hand, could you please sign up that for me?
With my pleasure, of course.
All right.
And there was a very beautiful saying of, I think it was Leonardo da Vinci. He said, the painting is the poetry that can be seen, and the poetry is the painting that can be heard and felt.
Wow.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is.
That's why it's all interconnected.
That's
You
cool.
see? I'll sign it for you with pleasure.
Thank you so much. And it was a great and absolute pleasure to have that inspiring, enriching conversation with you, Meruyert.
Thank you, dear.
And I wish you a great success in all your endeavors.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure too.
Thank you.
Thank you.